Good morning, vlogsters. It's a little late in the morning this morning. I had a little technical difficulty with my video. Look how steamy the coffee is because I haven't had it yet. I'm not going to sip it yet. I just want to be like, oh, technology. I love it. When it hates me, I'm not so much in love. So let's take up for a sip together, shall we? You know what I am going to do for right now? I'm going to take out my straw, set it on my coaster, and drink like a human being. Let me tell you this fake Yeti, expensive from Buc-ee's because it had camouflage on it. Cup works really well. I actually don't know who makes it. I think it would even stay even warmer if we didn't put a straw in it. But right now it's 3 hours old and it's still warm, so bordering on hot. Good morning, vlogsters. I'm so happy to see you. We did a little changes in here yesterday. I would like to spin you around to show you if you've been paying attention. You might have noticed the last setup. So a couple of things have changed, and I'll tell you why. We put back the medium, the second commode we got, the medium size. We put that back. I got rid of the little table that I had with my stuff on it, and I moved these two tables over, put the stuff underneath. I hope you can see past my foot. And then I put my walker there, straight shot to the door. And here's why. It's a couple of reasons. The first reason was I need to get up more. I went to the oncologist, and he said, just don't fall. You can do whatever you can do, just don't fall. And I was like, goals? But really, in all honesty, I have been doing more, but now I'm in a little pain today, or last night actually started, and I'm a little exhausted today. So I'm like, I know getting back into it's going to take some time, but I did a lot yesterday, and last night I just started. I was like, oh, I'm in so much pain today. I don't know what's going on. But here's the goal. When I try to get my walker to even go to the restroom or outside to any reason, I have to move these tables to walk the walker straight, or I have to walk the walker sideways, which isn't really good support. It's okay support, but it's not great support. So what we decided to do was, since I'm going to be going to the bathroom for most of toileting, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. Okay, what do I say? For number 2, always for number 2, unless it's an emergency. And number 1, if I get the sensation, not immediately. So you guys know I've had a little trouble in the past, and maybe now I know maybe it's my kidney issues. It didn't say there was any effect in my bladder, but maybe the fact that it's all dumping from one place. I don't really know how that works, but I've just had less control. So if I can get the sensation soon enough, because it still does take me a minute to get to the bathroom, and I never timed it. A minute is just an expression we use, but it does still take me a few minutes or seconds or whatever to go to the bathroom. Sometime. They will say that. It still takes me some time to go to the bathroom. So if I don't think I can make it, I have the Commode here. If it's in the middle of the night, I have the Commode here early in the morning, because I do create quite a bit of noise going to the bathroom with the walker, because setting up the walker and getting past all the doorways and setting it sideways and all that stuff does create a lot of noise. So for the middle of the night and early mornings, I will be using the Commode. Otherwise, whenever I can, I'll be using the restroom. Yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Excuse me. Yesterday, I went to the bathroom, and got up to eat breakfast. Well, I got up and I sat on the couch, and then my sister woke up and, you want to eat breakfast? And what do you want? And she just heated me some of my waffles that I had in the freezer. I think that's the first waffles that I've had. Wow. That's the first waffles that I've had since I hurt my hip back in July. Wow. But she said, because she said she had strawberries and blueberries, I was like, waffles. Thank you. Now, the serving size for those waffles is 4 waffles, but you can't eat, I can't eat 4 waffles. You might be able to eat 4 waffles. I can't. So it's like only 2 or 3 carbs in there. And I tried to get her to look at the package for, it's got clean ingredients and all that stuff. So because she likes to eat real clean. So, yeah. So I had waffles, and then she cooked up some turkey kibasi, which we love it. And what I didn't know was she boils it and then fries it, so it's got like a crispy skin. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do that from now on. It was so good. So I'm loving having her here. I feel like I'm eating real food again because, you know, Jim, when he started the new job, the food preparation part just really fell to the wayside, which I don't blame him. This is not a complaint. It's just that it's hard to heal your body when you don't have like real food, when you're eating like junk and processed junk and fake stuff. And so I'm really grateful for, in so many ways, but I'm so grateful that she's here. So she also was like, we have to figure something out for the room. And we were thinking about, like, I was thinking about getting a shelf up real high to put the machines on. And we think other places to put the machines. And I really don't have, there isn't really a great place to keep these. The water vaporizer could go on the top of Jim's dresser, but I really visually just wanted to, like, honestly, if I could, I would have them integrated into the walls so I don't have to look at them. But obviously that's not an option. So it's just, I guess that's the hidden side of like picture magazine perfect places that, you know, you see this beautifully decorated room, but of course there's never a laundry hamper. There's never a vaporizer, purifier, or fan. Well, sometimes there's a fan, but that's more like aesthetic. It usually has that nice antique metal fan. But there's never like the things that you need to live in your room. You just only the things that you like, I don't know. Looks like a hotel all the time. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. So we did a lot yesterday. So we were considering, sorry, coffee got up my nose. Not up my nose, but on my, so we're considering putting up shelves so that I can have a clear space. This is crazy. So I can have a clear space and be able to like get onto the walker straight out the door. So now what I have is I can sit on the end of the bed and I can open my walker and I can just go because these machines are closer. And eventually we won't need a commode at all, or maybe not, I don't know. Might need the other commode back, I don't know. Might need to relocate everything, I don't know. But for right now, this is working. It was a bit of work to get it. Jimmy set up the new commode. We just put the other commode, the larger one, in the utility room. Now, the reason I switched from this one to the larger one was twofold. First of all, my hip still hurt really bad. And this is just snug. And every time I would sit, I would hurt my hip just because I couldn't have snug at the time. I'm sorry, I'm talking and it's shaking a lot and I don't know why. It doesn't normally do that, does it? Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Hold on. I see. Okay. I don't have any slack by the blanket here, and that's why the phone's cooking now. I didn't realize the tripod was like, the blanket was doing this and the tripod was on it. So every time I moved my leg, still. Sorry. Because I sleep with a blanket stealer, so. I woke up this morning and I only had the quilt and I only had a fraction of it. I was like, can I have some blankets? Anyway, so now that my hip has improved, I mean, there's still bone on bone, but the gabapentin medication is working fantastically. I only feel sore from time to time, like yesterday. Yesterday I was sore. So that, and then the second reason was it was very difficult to wipe It was very difficult to be independent when toileting number 2. And now that I'm going to be toileting number 2 into the bathroom, that's not an issue anymore. So my hip, the issues that were there before are not really prevalent right now. Now, the reason I wanted to switch to this is because the other Commode is made, it's a big wide seat, and it's made for somebody up to 600 pounds. So what I think is happening is the fact that I am just putting weight on the very, very center because I don't fill up the whole seat. I'm grateful that I don't fill up the whole seat, but also I don't fill up the whole seat. So I'm putting just pressure on the plastic seat in the middle, and that's what's causing the Commode bucket to come out. Now, my sister and I have talked about ways to remedy that. If I need to go back to that Commode, like, I don't know, after surgery or whatever, the treatment, whatever it is, if I need to go back to that Commode, there's other ways that we could, like with magnets. And she talked about the it's called something, oh gosh. It's a shelf liner, but it's that rubber with the holes in it. She called it a rubber husband because that's what they used to call them, like at Tupperware. But it's basically like that non-skid mats that you can get at like the Dollar Tree. You cut a couple of pieces of those and you put them on the bucket or on the part that holds the bucket, and this way it gives it more friction. So there's a ways around it if and when we need to go back to that other Commode. But for right now, this is working. The table situation can stay as long as I don't need the clearance for anything else. Like if I have to have in-home physical therapy or anything like that, and we need the space, then obviously we'll work about clearing that up. But for right now, it's working. I can ambulate past it. I can get to my walker. I can get to my Commode. I have no issues right now, which is fantastic. I'm very, very grateful. But again, it was like a lot of hard work. So again, grateful that we did it, grateful that it's done, and now it's the next thing. So today is Wednesday. I'm having a visitor today, which I'm so excited. I have a friend coming over. I'm kind of wishing, like, my friend is very, very sensitive. She's got a lot of health issues, and smoking is definitely part of one of the issues. So I almost wish that Mom is supposed to go out today, so maybe we can visit in the living room, because my friend sitting on the bench, and as well as my sister, they both have like back support issues. I mentioned it yesterday that it's not very comfortable to sit on the bench for a long period of time. So if we could sit outside and visit outside, that would be so great. But if not, I understand too. We can always come back in, and I don't know what time Mom's leaving today. I also don't know what the weather's going to be like today, because if it is too hot, we can't really open the house up. Yesterday we had the house open until it hit about 83. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't anymore. It's too hot. My sister understood. She's like, I understand, but I'm freezing. And I understand. I'm so sorry. Menopause and thyroid. Menopause and thyroid sitting in the living room having a battle of the weathers, of the temperature. She's actually been so gracious, so it's okay. I feel like I'm nursing this. Not nursing it, that's the opposite. I feel like I'm obsessed with it. So I was thinking, like, since I don't have the big Commode to sit on, I was like, let me just sit up in bed. And the more I sit up in bed, the easier it'll get to be sitting up in bed. And today it was super easy to sit up in bed. And this way I don't have to worry about my modesty. When you lay down in bed, no matter where you put the nightgown, gravity takes a hold of the girls and they just want to come up to your chin. And that's just the way it works. If you're blessed with either your ample bosom, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, if you're blessed with a non-ample bosom, then you may not know what I'm talking about. But it's an issue when you're a vlogger stuck in bed. That's all I'm saying. Just leave it at that. It has been so I hate to like, let's talk about the weather, but it has been so warm here. It was like 88 degrees yesterday. And I was like, did somebody tell Mother Nature that it's almost October? Like, I was really kind of sad that I wasn't able to get into the spirit of decorating for autumn or crafting for autumn. But it's like, when it's still summer weather out, how do you even get into the spirit? You know, I want a pumpkin spice latte. I can't have a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, but I want to get into this like pumpkin spice autumn food. My sister's going to make butternut squash soup today. And I'm like, but it's going to be 90. It's like, how do you have soup when it's 90 degrees out? Yesterday, she made chicken curry and like her version of chicken curry. And I meant her version because she eats very low fat, low sodium. So it was chicken thighs. She used low fat coconut milk. She used curry powder. She uses a jar of something to add with it. She used fresh tomatoes, I think. She put broccoli with it. So good. I want to have that for lunch today. I told her. I actually thinking about having it for breakfast. She served mine over cauliflower rice because it was very like liquidy. And I was like, the cauliflower rice would be perfect. It would add like a whole other texture. Oh, 8:35. I was just pulling up the iPad to see the weather, but it's not on there. It's the time. Alexa, what's the forecast going to be today?
In Rolla, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Today, you can look for lots of clouds and thunderstorms, with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 65 degrees. Did you know that Amazon Books recently announced the best books of the month? Would you like to know which books made the list?
No, thank you. She's so cute. Okay, so it's only 65 degrees out, which means I want to go out in the living room and open up the whole house. Freeze everybody out. You guys, I'm not trying to be mean, but they can always put on more clothes. I can't take off fat yet. And honestly, my sister, bless her soul, bless her heart, excuse me, not her soul, well, bless her soul too, but when she did keto and she lost a ton of weight, she still was like Holly hormone and was not freezing, like it was never cold. So I don't know that it has anything to do with, I always tell everybody as a joke that I'm naturally insulated, but I don't even know that has anything to do with it. I really don't. It might, and who knows, when I get thinner, it might. It never did before, but it might. Never really been thin, but thinner. I know losing weight is a controversy now. When I went to the doctor, I lost another pound, and the weight loss was concerning. But the weight loss, 1 pound in 3 weeks, was not as concerning. But I'm sure I'll be losing weight with physical therapy and treatment and all that stuff. And maybe I'm not going to be able to eat, or I'm not going to feel like eating, or whatever is going to happen. So we're just going to take one day at a time. And I told my sisters yesterday, I eat modified keto. I use intermittent fasting. And I'm going to do that until the doctor tells me to stop. Honestly, it works for me. When I have nervous eating, I chew gum. I don't just have blind eating. I don't just have boredom eating. It really does work for me. I mean, it's not keto where the pounds are just falling off, because that's what happens when you do keto for a lot of people, especially when they weigh as much as I do, the pounds will just fall off. But it's my version. It's low carb. I don't take in the fat that you're required to take in to hit ketosis. I'm trying not to get into ketosis. I'm just trying to eat these foods that will keep my blood sugar managed, will help me lose a little bit of weight over time. Again, I never did it to lose weight. It was about my eyesight. But then when I found out about my hip, I was like, okay, let's go start to lose weight. Do I actually do keto? I looked into type 2 diabetics doing keto. My sister was when she did it, and it actually got her off her medicine. So it's like, do I, like that. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been laying here. You think with nothing to do, and my mind just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Makes plans, or tentative plans, or runs the scenarios, just over and over and over and over in my head, just trying to figure out exactly what can I do? What will I do? What will I say? What was it? Like, and just, if I do this, if this happens, then this. And it's really funny because I laugh when, I don't know that I shared this with you before. I know I have, but if you're new, or let me remind you. When I was in 7th grade, I was in the honors classes in my junior high school, because it wasn't junior high school, middle school at the time, it was junior high school. My junior high school was 7th and 8th grade. It had honors, average, and basic classes, and that was it. And then you had like special ed kids, but it was the honors, average, and basic. And I was in honors in 7th grade, but I never did my homework. I told you guys this a million times. I know now why, but I didn't know then. Everybody just thought I was lazy. I was just it was so hard to concentrate in my house. It was just a thing. So when they did was, since I didn't pass all of the honors classes, and I actually took 2 in summer school, they put me down to average. But here's the thing. The curriculum for 7th grade honors is the same as the curriculum for 8th grade average. And the curriculum for 7th grade average is the same as the curriculum for 8th grade honors. Don't ask me why. No idea. And I mean, maybe not the exact advanced studies part, but it's like basically we took physical science in 7th grade science, and we took physical science in 8th grade science. And we took algebra in 7th grade math, and we took algebra in 8th grade math. And then we go to the high school in a different town, and guess what we have? Physical science for 9th grade and algebra for 9th grade math. And by 9th grade, I was like an expert at algebra, an expert at physical science. I had not had one biology class yet. So in 10th grade, when we hit biology, I was like fascinated and clueless at the same time. And the same thing with math. When we hit geometry in 10th grade, I was like fascinated and clueless at the same time. So, but the reason I'm laughing is because in algebra, they teach you logic, which is if then, like if then basically is saying like, if this, then that. If x plus y equals 7, then whatever the ratio, whatever the lesson is you're trying to learn. If x plus y equals 7, and then 7 minus x equals y, or that's basically that kind of like if then. So whenever I say like if then, and I run these scenarios in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's because I had freaking algebra for 3 years. Because that's what my brain always kind of does. It's just like, okay, so if they do this, if I get this treatment and it has this reaction, then I will need this benefit. But then if I get that treatment and I don't have that reaction, I'll get this benefit. And this is how my brain has been processing for the last couple of weeks. Not worrying. It's not overwhelming. I'm not anxious about it. I'm just running scenarios. I'm planning. So my sister, one of the suggestions my sister said was, you don't need the couch. And I was like, listen, if I get a treatment where I need the bed to myself for one reason or another, maybe surgery on my leg, or maybe like I'm nauseous and I just can't lay on my, I have to lay spread out or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, I want the couch so my husband can sleep in the room with me comfortably. And she's like, well, if you have this treatment, he won't be able to be in the room with you. I said, I understand that. And that might be a scenario. But in the meantime, I just want him to be here. Now, I know before he started working, he had some issues with being around me so much. But honestly, he doesn't sleep well when we're not in the same room. Maybe the first half of a night. Honestly, when he'll wake up to go to the bathroom, he will have trouble falling back to sleep. He will be tossing and turning. He just it's just something about when you're married to somebody for so long and they're not there. You know, it's like sleeping with your favorite pillow and your favorite pillow is gone. It takes you some time to get adjusted to sleeping without your favorite pillow. So I just know not only for my benefit, but for his as well. I think that it's really important that he at least stay in the room with me. He's comfortable here. His purifier's here. His air water machine is here. We only have one of those. We can't put them in 2 different rooms. If he sleeps on the couch in the living room, the smoke coming from Mom's bedroom will be overwhelming to his breathing because it's so close to her area. So it's not like it's not things I'm not considering, you know. But it's something, you know, we did try to keep that mattress so that we could have like a spare room in his office. But we'll see. You know, we don't know. We don't know nothing. We don't know. Who knows what tomorrow brings? Anyway, sorry to spoil your ears and your breakfast. If you just hurled your breakfast from my singing, I'm sorry. So there's just a lot of scenarios that are going through my head. I haven't been watching much TV. We actually started watching a TV show. It's got bad language, but it's on Paramount Plus. It's called The Harper House, but it's funny. It just reminds me a lot of growing up, where we grew up, and trying to better our situation in our neighborhood of affluence when we were in a bad situation. So it was kind of like that. And we were laughing. My sister and I were laughing. So I'm looking forward to watching some more of that today before my visitor comes. But I'll see how my sister's feeling. She doesn't sleep very well, again, without her husband of 20 years. 20 plus years, actually. Well, they've been married. They got married right before we did, but they were together. They were high school sweethearts, and then they broke up, and then they both married someone else, and they got back together again, and they got married and had a family. So there's that. And they've been together 98, 96, 96. So 25 years they've been back together. So it's kind of amazing. Let me see. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I don't remember. We were talking about the TV show, talking about my sister, talk about how long they've been together. Oh, it's hard for her to sleep. Plus, my mattress in the guest room is way more firm than she's used to. So she did was she took the cushiony mattress cover and she folded it over. So she's got twice the cushion on her side that she's sleeping on, which I think is helping. I think it's improved. I have to ask her because she hasn't been complaining about that. She's just been reminding herself that she hasn't been doing her physical therapy because she's been so busy taking care of me. So she doesn't have time. She told me she wanted me to do physical therapy. And I'm like, well, I don't have anything to therapy from yet. But we have been like, I've been still working on my core and doing my leg lifts. And now that I'm walking more, it's much easier. So, yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you guys and tell you what's been going on. To tell you that my brain is going 1,000 miles an hour. I will tell you, too, that I apologize that I haven't been in the comments. And Jim hasn't been able to help me with the comments because since Julie got here, he has been assisting her in the kitchen and or learning from her and or cooking himself. So he hasn't been able to help me. She is a very empathic person, so she really can't help me with the comments. She's like, I don't read the comments because I tried one day and I got so upset I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I understand 100%. So I'm trying to find a way to get to you guys and to talk back and not talk back. Talk back. Don't talk back to me. To have conversations with you and catch up. And I know that there was a lot of love poured out on the video that I posted on the main channel about the diagnosis and stuff. I will answer one quick question, which I'm probably going to answer again on that channel next time. My sister-in-law said, how can the doctor diagnose that it's cancer without the biopsy? And he, too, said there is a very slim chance it's not. But because it is everywhere, I think I mentioned it, but I don't know if I mentioned it, if everybody saw it. Because it's spread to different places, that's why they believe it's cancer. There's a tiny, tiny, slim chance that I'm a person who grows tumors all over their body. But that's such a rarity that they automatically like, let's just start setting up treatment. However, he did say on a positive note, he goes, if it ends up being not that, then we can cancel the, the appointment for treatment or whatever. So I was like, score, we'll just do that. So that's where we are. That's where we're at. I just want to say I love you guys and thank you all for joining me on a daily basis. And I'm so grateful I'm sitting up in bed. It's so comfortable. I want to watch TV now, so I'm going to hang up. Listen, I love you. As always, you take care. God bless. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.